Good morning. We are just going to ask for whatever the collective today needs to hear. Not a certain amount of cards. It's never a certain amount of cards. We always get a bunch of cards. Just going to ask for what we need to hear for the collective. It's not like super sunny today. It's like, well, I mean, it's still morning time, so the sun's going to come out eventually, but it's just like gloomy this morning, like cloudy. But it's also peaceful. The first card that came out is the Emperor card, which represents the earthly father, being a leader, a mentor, father figure. So you could be a father. You could be in a moment of becoming a father, possibly. You could already be a father. The next card is the Devil in reverse. That kind of represents letting go of external influences in a sense. You could be getting sober. If substances were involved in your life at one point, in your relationships with others, whether they were romantic, platonic, whatever, you may be getting sober. You may be on a journey of sobriety, which is a really good thing, especially if you're a father or a parent figure in general. Sobriety is something to be very proud of, and it is definitely something to showcase to your kids and to teach them that it is possible to show up and take care of your responsibilities and hold yourself accountable and not escape from them at all times. Why is that always happening? I always just dropping these. We have the Nine of Swords come out in reverse again, which I've been getting a lot for this collective I've been reading for lately. The next card we got was the Six of Pentacles, and that represents help or assistance to those who need it. So you could either be taking advantage of some resources. You could be going into therapy, rehab. You could currently be in therapy or rehab. You could just be taking advantage of some resources around you that are helping you with your journey of sobriety or with this journey of getting back on your feet and getting your head clear. I do get the energy that you are a father, and if you're not a father, you may be looking up to a father figure or the fatherly energy of the universe, whatever you believe in your religion, spirituality, your beliefs, whatever your highest good is, your highest energy is. Okay. With the Six of Pentacles, it represents help and assistance. So you could be taking advantage of resources, like I said, therapy or rehab, or you could also kind of be helping others around you. If you have some wealth or if you have some resources of your own that are overflowing, you could be in a phase of kind of helping some people around you that need the help. The energy I'm getting is that you're the one getting the help. You're using resources around you. You are not hesitating to be vulnerable and ask for the help that you need, because you really want to do this. You really want to get on the right path and correct the direction that you've been going in. And that is something to be very proud of. The next card we have is the Fool card, which is the first card of the Major Arcana. And that one just represents that you are in a time of a new beginning in your life. You're in a new phase. You are at the beginning right now. Like, you can manifest anything you want from here, basically. With you getting sober, I do believe the energy I'm getting is that you are a father figure. If you're not a father figure, you are looking up to a father figure or some kind of fatherly energy, which could also be whatever greater good that you look up to. If you are getting sober, first of all, that is something just amazing, absolutely amazing. I just want to say that I've been sober from alcohol for over 5 years. I've never touched anything in my life other than alcohol and marijuana voluntarily. I've been drugged a few times. And I did use marijuana for a little bit in the past medically to help me kind of just get through some blockages, but I've recently been sober from that for over a month and a half now, and I won't be touching that again. So sobriety is a beautiful thing. It really does introduce you back to yourself and who you are at your core, and not who you are behind a substance or a vice that kind of changes your the state of your mind. With being sober and the Six of Pentacles, sobriety is hard, especially in the world that we live in. Literally majority of this world is constantly under some kind of influence, whether it's alcohol, drugs, marijuana, anything. Everyone's always using substances and vices to help them along their paths. Getting sober is it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of commitment, and it takes consistency. Consistency with choosing yourself, no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad the days get. Just remember, with bad days, there are always good days, and the bad days don't last forever. They're always going to pass over, and you're going to have a new day the next day. With the Six of Pentacles, if you are taking advantage of some resources, whether it's rehab or therapy, or you're leaning on a friend or a family member, someone close to you, whatever the situation may be, you're being vulnerable, and you're not being afraid to be vulnerable. That's something to be very proud of. If you do have kids in this situation, that's another thing to be very proud of, because you're doing the right thing for your children and for your generation that you're making, the generation you're making, your future grandchildren, your future great-grandchildren, everything. So keep your eye on the bigger picture. The Fool card being new beginnings, you could be on your sobriety journey, which means it's not that you just became sober. You may have chosen to get sober maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago. This is just part of your sobriety journey that you're on. And with this new beginning, the time right now, like the energy right now in this moment, this is your new beginning. Like, you're finally waking up to this new beginning in life where you're kind of getting a chance to redo, in a sense, and restart. Start anew, start fresh, correct past mistakes, correct the path you were on, get back on the path you're meant to be on for you and your soul and your truth in this world. The Nine of Swords in reverse comes after, and that represents recovery and healing and basically getting better. So this is really good. And then we have the Chariot card after, which is representative of steering your own life and taking control of your own life and realizing that you have the power to focus on where it goes and what direction it goes, how fast it goes. Like, it's all up to you. You're in control. No one else is in control of your life. You're taking your power back. You're calling your power back. You're calling your energy back. You're taking back control of you, yourself, your choices, what you spend your energy on, what you give your energy to. And if children are in the picture, I am so proud of you. I don't care who you are. This is the work you are meant to do, and it is so worth it, and you will get plenty of rewards. And even if children are not involved in your life, or they're not involved in your life yet, this is still some of the purest work you can do, is holding yourself truly accountable, taking responsibility for your life, where you're going in life, and taking your power back and taking your control back on the situation. After the Chariot, we have the Knight of Swords. If I'm not wrong, this one represents swift action. Yeah, swift, unstoppable action. Intelligence, wit, idealism, assertiveness, and courage. He tends to rush in, do what he does, what he thinks is best, and then rushes right back out. So you may have this energy in you, or this energy may be coming to you from somebody else. You may be owning this energy to kind of just, you realized where you were and that you needed to get some stuff done and that you needed to make some changes. So this energy could represent you getting that stuff done, like saying, you know what, like, this is what needs to be done. Nobody's stopping me. I'm going to get this done. Just make sure that you're balancing that energy and that you're not taking advantage of it or using it in the wrong way. It says when he appears to take advantage of his boundless energy, his capacity for quick action, and astute mental faculties. I don't even know what that means. But you're being led to take his energy and use it to take care of a situation that requires a swift conclusion. I get so mad when I stumble in my words. So you're being guided to take care of a situation that requires a swift conclusion, which would represent this sobriety journey that you're possibly on, especially if you're a father. This is something that is necessary and it is a priority. Like, you are a priority. Getting control of yourself, getting back healthy, getting back in control of your life and power of your life, power of yourself, power of your choices. This is definitely something serious that needed to be done, and you have this energy, and you just need to take that power, that energy inside of you, and just commit and get it done. And the energy is giving that you already are taking that energy and kind of doing it. Like, you know it's what needs to be done, and you're at a point in your life where you're like, this is the solution. I'm taking it. I'm doing it. Let's get it over with. And that's a good place to be. Just make sure you're staying level-headed and doing things with the right intentions and not rushing the process. Make sure you're also being patient with it. And then next we have the Page of Pentacles, and it represents an inspiring message of prosperity in body, mind, or spirit. So with this energy, with the changes you're making and getting sober and taking your power back, and you're not being afraid to do the actions that need to be done and take action where action needs to be taken, you're also going to come into this energy of, you're going to be healthier. You're going to have a healthier body, mind, and spirit, like your whole being. You're going to be coming into alignment in a sense. You're going to be able to communicate better with people around you, with yourself, with coworkers, friends, family, anything. You're going to be coming from a healthier place, especially mentally. Because getting sober, even though it is like there's a rough phase and you're going to go through like different kinds of withdrawals no matter what your situation is, even if you're not getting sober from substances, but you're kind of taking a step back from other external influences that were helping you escape in a sense, you're still going to go through phases of withdrawals and phases of second guessing, basically wondering if this is what's meant for you in a sense. The Page of Pentacles is kind of just a little confirmation that you're on the right path and you're going to prosper through this path and through these choices. This is what you're supposed to be doing, and you're going to find prosperity. And it's not maybe going to be materialistic. Don't attach to material things. Don't attach to the material realm. Abundance comes in more forms than money and material possessions. Abundance and wealth can come in several different forms, and one of the main ones is your health, mentally and physically and spiritually. So keep that in mind. You're going to be coming into a very healthy time of your life where you're going to be able to clearly communicate where you are, who you are, how you feel, what you're battling at the time, things you're currently going through, your intentions with others, your intentions in situations. You're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to be able to come from a healthier place than you ever have been. You're going to feel a lot healthier. You're going to feel kind of replenished, revitalized in a sense. You're going to get some life back to you, if that makes sense, some passion and sense and energy. There's no time like the present to communicate deeply within your own self and with the great life force that flows through you. You're going to be able to communicate with your own body. You're going to maybe gain some energy with your intuition. You're going to become more comfortable with your intuition. It also represents loyalty and dedication. So you're going to bring on some energy where you're going to have that dedication energy where you're not going to be afraid to dedicate yourself to what's best for you in your higher good, which could represent your sobriety journey, making these changes, getting better, correcting your path, doing what needs to be done for you, your family, your generation, your kids, yourself, whether you don't have kids or not, or you do have kids or not. The Page of Pentacles also represents loyalty. This could be you becoming more loyal to people. You could maybe be changing your mindset and your viewpoint on loyalty, what it means, and healthy ways to be loyal to people. Not kind of like, you're going to change your perspective on who's worthy of your loyalty and who's not. And you're also going to become more loyal to yourself. You're going to be taking in a lot of loyalty to yourself, to your health, to putting you first, and to maintaining your power and your control over you and your situation and where you head in life. The next card that we have is Temperance, which represents balance and balancing oppositions, like balancing opposing sides in yourself. So this is also going to be a time where you need to find balance, and you need to make sure you're holding on to that balance no matter what. You need to make sure you're being consistent with that balance, which can also represent cycles of rest and replenishment, and then action and determination, where you need to make sure you're not only working towards where you want to go, but you're also allowing yourself to rest when necessary, because rest is productive. The next card that we have is the Justice card, but she came out in reverse today, which in reverse she represents unfairness, intolerance, injustices, bias, dishonesty, legal complications. So the energy I'm getting with these cards and the Justice being in reverse, you could be in a place where justice is being handled right now. Karma is being delivered to people, and including yourself. It could be considering a bigger picture, a certain situation, or just in general, it's time where karma's coming around right now. You could be finding yourself where the truth is coming out. There may be some things you've done in the past that weren't fair. You could have done things incorrectly. You could have done illegal things. You could have lied. You could have stolen, whether the stealing be physical or spiritual or mental. There's just some justice coming, and you could be in a phase where some truths are coming to light, truths about yourself, truths about who you've been involved with, maybe some situations you were involved in with other people, things that were done incorrectly, things that were done out of selfish tendencies, need for control and power that you played a part in. And right now in this moment, you need to have balance. You need to let yourself rest. You need to stay committed and consistent with your path of sobriety and your new beginning and taking back control and power of yourself. You need to stay consistent in this, and you need to understand that this is where you're meant to be and you're doing the right thing. But you also need to keep that balance of the fact that you're responsible for yourself. You're also responsible for holding yourself accountable, and karma misses no one. Karma is a boomerang. What you put out in the world will always come back tenfold in due time when it's ready for you. So whatever is going on right now, considering justice and you being held accountable in some situations, you need to just take it for what it is. Take full accountability. Understand that whatever you did was wrong. Do what you can to correct it. Hold yourself accountable, especially in legal circumstances. If there is some legality coming in, some legal complications, whether you're going to be charged with some things or you just have to face some accountability legally, just know that you put yourself here. You made your choices to get yourself in this situation, and it's also your responsibility to take accountability for those choices and take whatever's coming for you in a sense. Make the best of it. Stay on your path. Stay committed. Stay consistent. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're believing in yourself. Make sure you're being disciplined. Self-discipline is very important. Be sure not to turn back to old cycles, old ways, substances you used to use, external influences that used to have a big control over you and your choices. Make sure you don't fall back into that. Right now, this is your karma. You're meant to go through this right now. It's kind of like an initiation where it's like, This is a test. You got to get through it. You got to face it head on, and you got to go through it. The only way out is through. Hold yourself accountable, keep yourself responsible, and it will pay off. The next card we have is the Lover's card. This card represents you needing to love yourself more than ever right now. You need to remember that self-love is very important. Even through this karma you're going through, this energy that you're receiving that you put out for other people that's now coming back to you tenfold, you need to love yourself through it as well. You need to understand that even though it sucks and you may be hurting, you may be confused, you may be in a time of regret, you may be regretting some things that you've done, none of that can change the past. None of that can change what's happened. None of that can change choices you've made in any situation. So right now, the most important thing is to love yourself on the deepest level possible. That means to accept yourself for who you are and who you've been. Accept yourself for where you are right now and what you're going through right now. And also show up for yourself in a sense of reminding yourself each day that you are worthy of love. You're worthy of respect and grace. But you're also responsible for who you've been. And you need to give yourself that love. You need to give yourself, no one's going to do it for you. You have to show up for yourself and say like, hey, another form of love, especially self-love, is also accountability. Holding yourself accountable. That's a form of love in relationships too, is holding each other accountable for things you're doing incorrectly or things you need to be doing and getting done. So just remember, you got to be there for yourself. You got to show up for yourself. And you need to be consistent, and you need to stay committed to this journey and this path that you're on right now. You may be going through some tough times, but this is meant to be. It's meant to happen. You got yourself here. You can't get out of it. You can run from it, or you can play victim, and you can go back to substances, and you can just keep the cycle going, and you can continue being a kind of person who acts out of injustice and selfishness, and you can continue getting yourself in more legal trouble, more troubles out of dishonesty and selfishness. Or you can find the lesson in this situation. There's always a lesson. No matter what struggle we go through in life, there's always a lesson to be found, a lesson to be learned. So that way you can find a deeper way of healing yourself, so you can learn from it and then move forward and keep evolving and growing. So whatever you are going through right now, if it sucks, it sucks. But remember, you put yourself here. You are responsible for you. You are accountable for you. Stay committed. Stay consistent. Believe in yourself. Know that you are worthy. You are worthy of this new beginning. You are worthy of changing and getting on a different path. But that doesn't change what you've done in the past, and that you have to be held accountable for it in a sense. Karma misses no one. What you send out always comes back. This is a time where you do need to allow yourself to forgive yourself in a sense for things that you've done in the past. Don't get stuck in the victim mentality, and don't get stuck in the self-pity phase where it's like, oh, like I did that wrong. I need someone to pity me and tell me that like they love me and that I'm still deserving. You got to do that for yourself. You got to let go of the pity. You got to let go of the victim mentality. You have to understand that you have to take responsibility. You have to take accountability. You got yourself here. No one else did. You are in control of you. You made choices to get yourself where you are. Give yourself the love that you need. Allow yourself to forgive yourself, and allow yourself to accept who you've been without judgment, and accept who you're becoming. And understand that you're worthy of this new direction, and you're worthy of this new path. You just have to hold yourself accountable for who you were in the past. Take accountability for it. Take responsibility for it. Correct things that you can correct. Do what you can to make things right. Hold yourself responsible. Make sure you face what's going on. Face it full force. Grab your confidence and your strength and show up and do what needs to be done. Especially if things are going to be legal. You put yourself here. Show up. Take what comes to you. Take it for what it is legally. Handle it. Hold yourself accountable. Be held accountable how you need to be legally so you can move forward. Find the lesson in it. There could be a lesson of just what not to do, choices not to make, how to not be in life, how to not treat other people, some stuff like that. Just make sure you're learning the lesson. The next card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles, which represents personal growth through learning and perfecting a new skill. This could be a time as you're going through this phase, as you are going through this transition of life, this new you that's being born. This is also a time where when you have free time, when you have downtime, you could spend that learning new skills or educating yourself. You could further your education, or you could just educate yourself on different things that you take interest in. And you could find new skills, new things to pour your energy into that could benefit you in a sense. And it will help you broaden your knowledge on different things, and that's always a great thing. So make sure you kind of take advantage of this time. Don't fall into the negative of it or the pity part, but fall into the part where, I put myself in this situation and I'm in full control of how I respond to it and how I react to it and what I do with this energy that I have right now, with this opportunity that I have right now to turn my life around. Make the most of it. Learn some new skills, like take on some different practices if you want to. And the next card that we have is the Queen of Cups. This card represents intuition. You may be coming into your intuition a little more. You may be becoming more comfortable with it. You're becoming more comfortable with your emotions. You're also coming into a time of love, healing, protection, and emotional depths. You could be representing this energy. This energy could represent like you yourself, or it could also represent that you could be attracting some love from other people and a little bit of protection, like emotionally, from some people around you who see you doing the work that you need to do and that they want you to stay on this path and they know that you're doing the right thing and they're supporting you. Or it could just be you yourself, where you're learning to hone in into yourself and tune into yourself, and you're realizing that you have all the tools you need to do what you need to do and to get through this. The next card we have is the Five of Wands. This one represents causing issues where there are none, internal or external conflict. You could be kind of battling yourself. You could be going through a phase of just, what word am I looking for? It's kind of like a time where you may be fighting yourself. You're mad at yourself. You're upset with yourself. You're frustrated. You may have a lot of regrets. And it's okay to feel those. But you also have to understand that who you were in the past is kind of like a shadow side of you. It's one of your shadow sides. It's one of your demons, basically, that kind of took over yourself in a sense. And when you're learning to take control back from those sides of yourself and learning to take control back and get back aligned and get healthy, you also have to understand that in the times of battling those dark sides of yourself, you have to learn to not battle yourself and who you truly are. You may have become someone that you weren't proud of. You may have done things that you weren't proud of. You may have done things that weren't right, and you're in a time where you're like, I really regret this. But feeling that way isn't going to change what was done. The easiest thing to do is to accept who you were, accept that that was someone you chose to be in the past, but that you're not letting that person have control anymore. So you have to kind of accept that side of yourself and forgive that side of yourself, accept it with love and grace, and then kind of, you need to heal it. You need to heal it. You have to accept that that is a part of you, that is a part of you, and that part of you is inside of you, but it doesn't control you. You are in control of who you are and who you show up as and what you choose to do in life. So whatever's going on right now, you may be having some mental battles where you're just going back and forth. You're feeling unworthy. You could be having some even like suicidal thoughts. I don't want to put that in your head. If you're not having those, you're not having those, but it could be something that's happening. You could be finding yourself in some pity situations, victim situations where you're just upset with yourself, mad at yourself, not seeing yourself as worthy, but that's just a very toxic cycle to get into. You need to forgive yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to give yourself some grace. You need to understand that you are worthy. You're worthy of this new beginning. And that even though who you've been doesn't mean that that's who you have to be. You are capable of change. So stay committed, stay consistent. You may also be going through a time of where this regret and this frustration and this embarrassment, in a sense, you may be causing some issues outside of yourself as well with people outside of you. There may be some people who are genuinely trying to support you, who genuinely know who you've been, who you've chosen to be. They know the actions you've taken, but they're also saying, hey, like, even though you've done this, you know, you're doing the necessary changes, you're doing your work, so I'm here for you. You may be seeing yourself as unworthy of those connections, and you may be causing some conflict with those people, or pushing them away in a sense and not letting them in. So just make sure you're being aware of that, and make sure you're kind of just reminding yourself. Make sure you are reminding yourself that you're worthy of the love and the support, even if you haven't been the best in the past and you've made some decisions you're not proud of. You need to be grateful for whatever support you do have in this moment, even if it's just yourself. And you need to change your perspective on it. You need to understand that you're worthy of support even in these dark times. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of support. You're worthy of companionship, whether it's romantic, platonic, friendships, whatever. Don't self-sabotage. You're kind of in a sense of self-sabotaging right now, and that's normal for a situation like this, but you need to stay in control of it, and you need to be able to focus. You need to be able to recognize when you're self-sabotaging, so you can say, oh, this is that cycle, I need to stop it. Like, I'm worthy of the support, I'm worthy of my own support, I'm worthy of my own love, patience, forgiveness, and grace. And the only way I'm going to get through this is if I do love myself, give myself that grace and forgiveness, and get myself through this. And remind yourself that you're worthy of that from other people as well, who want to be in your corner through this time. The next card that we have is the Sun card. This is a time for you to be shining bright. Even though this may be a time of struggle in a sense, a time of you're being held accountable for who you were in the past, and you're embarrassed, you're ashamed in a sense. This is also a time for you to let your true self shine and be who you are, and not be afraid to let your light shine and let people see you. Even if you haven't been the best in the past and you've done things wrong, you don't have to identify with that phase of yourself. You're allowed to change at any point in time, and you're allowed to become a new person, and not necessarily a new person, but a new version of yourself, a healthier version of yourself. And this is a new beginning for you. This is a time, and you're doing your work, and you're putting it in, the work in. So like, acknowledge that and give yourself the recognition that you deserve, and understand that you do deserve love and acceptance from people around you. So make sure you're not hiding. Don't hide from the world. Don't let your shame and embarrassment or regret or your self-sabotaging tendencies, don't let them get control of you. They're not who you are. That's like a past version of yourself who used to do that, who used to take the shame and the embarrassment or the self-sabotaging, and you would fall into that cycle, and you would just keep going on the cycle of just getting yourself in more and more trouble, getting back into substances, escaping yourself. You're done with that cycle. So just be proud of that, and find your confidence, and tune into your confidence, and be confident of who you're being right now and the choices you're making, and be confident of the path you're now going down instead of the path you were going down. You have every right to be confident of the situation right now and the choices that you're choosing to make, especially with holding yourself accountable and responsible. The next card that we have is the Page of Wands. This card represents an enthusiastic personality with a message of inspiration. This could be a young person who is optimistic, energetic, and positive, effortlessly cheering up anyone in their vicinity. If not an actual person, this card can remind you of the youthful spirit that resides within you and encourages you to tap into its vitality. So this could be a sign. It could be someone around you. There could be someone around you in your life, in your support system. It could be a child of yours. It could just be someone in your circle who is very confident and creative and courageous and just has a very light spirit, has a very happy spirit, and brings just happiness and energy and acceptance. And that could be someone around you, or this could be calling you to tap into your own innocence again. Tap into your childlike tendencies, like your innocence in a sense. Tap into your own energy of being creative and courageous and confident. And I'm getting the energy that it's for you to call into the energy yourself, especially with the Sun card. You need to find this side of yourself. You need to find your confidence. You need to tune into it and you need to use it. You're allowed to be confident. Even if you've done wrong in the past and you're being held accountable for it right now, that's just your responsibility in life. You made choices that you made and you're going to be held accountable. It's your karma. But you can also have confidence in yourself for making these changes that you're making and for changing who you used to be, changing the cycles you used to repeat. You're doing inner work that you should be very proud of, and you have every right to be confident in it. You could maybe take on some creativity with, if you're learning some new skills, take some confidence in some new skills. If you pick up a new skill and you actually enjoy it and you're good at it, be confident in that. That's something to be proud of. And that's something that's actually very healthy to put your energy into a hobby or a skill or something. You're basically releasing your negative energies into whatever it is that you're working on or learning and stuff. The next card we have is the Moon card, but it's in reverse. This card represents mental clarity, dreams, truths, forgiveness, and intuition. You're coming into a phase where you are learning to forgive, not only yourself, but some people around you as well. And you're gaining some mental clarity on where you're meant to be in life, why you've been who you've been in the past, why you chose to show up as that person, why you continue to be that person for so long. You're getting some mental clarity on the situation you're going through, and that it is definitely, you're meant to be going through this right now, that this is part of the spiritual path of accountability, responsibility, and taking control of yourself and taking your power back in life. You're doing the work. And the last card is Three of Cups, successful conclusions, time for merriment and community celebration. The work that you're doing, you need to do it, and it's going to pay off and it's going to have its rewards. Even though it's hard and you may have some shame and regret and embarrassment, you got to accept those feelings for what they are, and then you have to release them, because you can't change the past. All you have is right now. All you have is the present moment and what you do with yourself and your choices right now. So stay committed and stay consistent. And through this work, even through being held accountable, however you're held accountable, even through your self-sabotaging tendencies and maybe you pushing some people out or not seeing yourself as worthy, you're gonna get through it. And with that, you're gonna find your tribe. You're gonna find the people you're meant to have in life, the people you're meant to be supported by, and the people you're meant to support. You're gonna find yourself having some support showing up, some people who see the work you're doing, but are also willing to acknowledge it, and are also willing to look at you and acknowledge the work you're doing, acknowledge the changes you're making, and also acknowledge your worth in this new beginning of your life, who are going to be willing to say, hey, you haven't been the best in the past, but look at what you're doing. Look at the choices you're making now. Look at the cycles you're breaking. Look at the changes you're making. Look how healthy you're becoming. Look at where you're getting yourself in life. And if you have children in your life, whether you're a father or you just have children around you in general, this is some of the purest work you can do in life, is to take your power back, because you're setting an example. So you're going to get the rewards. You're going to reap the rewards of the changes you're making and the actions you're taking in this present moment. Just make sure that you stay consistent, stay committed, and stay focused on the bigger picture. And remember, you are the only person who can control you. You are the only person who has power over you. Nobody has power over you unless you give them that permission to do so. So make sure you stay in control. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. Make sure you're resting as much as you are being productive. Make sure you're resting as much as you are taking action. Remind yourself that you are worthy of that rest. Rest is productive. Remind yourself that you are worthy of change. Remind yourself that you are worthy of everything that this life has to offer, even if you haven't been a person who was worthy of that in the past. Make sure you're willing to accept who you were in the past, accept who you've been in the past, accept the cycles that you've normally identified with and continued going down, and forgive yourself for that, and then release it. Leave it in the past. The past is not a place to live. It is a place to learn from and to evolve and grow from. You are here and now, and this is a new beginning for you. Take advantage of it and do what you can with it, and make sure you keep this responsibility and accountability for yourself. Don't give it up and don't lose it. You are on a path of amazing things. This work that you're doing is leading you towards things that you're meant to have in life, experiences you're meant to experience. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're doing the right work. You're doing it for a reason, and you will reap its rewards. I'm proud of you. You are worthy. You're worthy of everything that every human on this earth is worthy of. Everyone on this earth makes mistakes. Everyone on this earth has a shadow side, a dark side, a toxic side. Nobody is perfect. Do the work that you are capable of doing, that you're responsible for doing, and it will pay off. I hope this finds who it's supposed to find, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.